Hello, my name is Matthew Manson. I am the President and CEO of Radisson Mining. Radisson, in a nutshell, is the O'Brien Gold Project, an historic former producing mine in the Abitibi of Quebec, the heart of gold mining heritage in Quebec and Canada. Why Radisson? We have a solid resource that's growing with a 140,000 metre drill program, fully funded, up to 8 rigs, and we're right beside large, hungry mines and mills adjacent to us, left and right. That's the basic investment thesis for Radisson Mining Corporation, and I'm going to take you through the story here in 5 minutes. First, I'll take you through the normal forward-looking statements, which you can read at your leisure. Here are the facts and figures of our business. The current resource is about 1.5 million ounces. As I said, this is growing, and I'll show you our confidence in that growth. 140,000 metres program, just completed a very successful equity financing, $35 million in the bank. That funds us all the way through this year, all the way through next year, with up to 8 rigs, really aggressively drilling out the deeper portions of this deposit as we step out into new areas. We've also just recently published a preliminary economic assessment, the first modern economic study for this project, that shows the project on the basis of the existing resource being developed as an underground mine and being trucked to one of these adjacent mills on a toll milling supposition. Healthy value by doing that, low initial capital, high NPV, this used 2550 gold, and a high rate of return. So these are the twin planks of our business. Exploration, a growing resource, numbers growing, and already we have a solid project with a vision to have this thing integrated into an existing mining operation within the region. That is the heritage of mining. Who we are, there's 9 mine builds on that board between Pierre Baudouin, Peter McPhail, myself, the other directors. Michael Gentili, the prolific investor, is a major shareholder here and also on our board. We are located, as I said, in the heart of Quebec gold mining country. This is the Abitibi of Quebec between Rouyn-Noranda in the west, Val-d'Or in the east. These are all just the current operating gold mines and gold mills. And the red hatched areas are hub and spoke operations, where you've had perhaps a mill that's been around for several decades that's seen successive ore bodies brought into production and processed through those mills and into those local tailing facilities. So you've got Doyen Westwood with IM Gold, you've got La Ronde with Agnico Eagle. We are located adjacent to that, outside the town of Cadillac. There's our location. You've got Malartic, Canada's second biggest gold mine, Agnico Eagle again. You've got Sigma Lamaque, that's El Dorado. You've got Kina, which is Wesdome. You've got Goldex, which is Agnico Eagle. So headframes on the horizon here. And again, the vision is that ultimately, following the heritage of mining in Quebec's Abitibi, we see this project becoming integrated into one of these systems of mines and mills. The infrastructure story is really communicated best here. This is how close everything is. There's our land position. There's the historic O'Brien Gold Mine there at the top of the land position, and in the photograph to the bottom left. Over the back fence, you've got La Ronde, Agnico Eagle's original and flagship gold mine, and then to the west, you've got Westwood Doyen with IM Gold. 7 kilometers by road to La Ronde, 21 kilometers by road to Westwood Doyen, 3 kilometers directly into La Ronde over the back fence. So this is the neighborhood. Can't do better than that. And in terms of land, there's one other junior company on that slide, a company called Goldex, just to the east of us. Otherwise, it's IM Gold and Agnico Eagle land position all around us. So very, very compelling land position here. And right on the highway, right on the power line, right on the railway. The PEA that we put out, $532 million NPV at 2550 gold. This used just $2,000 gold in the mine design and the mineral resource. Gold is now $4,300 US this morning. Not an aggressive statement of value for this project. Again, this is a snapshot study using existing resource, presupposing use of an adjacent mill where metallurgy and a milling assessment was developed with IM Gold last year under an MOU. So real numbers here, and you're seeing just on the existing resource and a healthy live in your mine plan, 7,000 to 80,000 ounces a year type production profile, and very low capital, very low cost of entry for this type of mine development. But that's not the end of the story. this is, I think, what's grabbing people's attention, and this has been a surprise to us as a company, honestly, over the last year. There's the old mine in grey, went down to about 1 kilometer deep. Here's the new resources in the colours on the eastern side of the old mine, not the full resource picture, but just what you're seeing on the eastern side. This is a long section. You're looking north here. The drilling you're seeing is the results from 3 recent press releases of this company, where we're doing the step-out type drilling. Big, brave, aggressive step-outs below the old mine, below the existing resource. In 70 years since that mine closed in the late 1950s, nobody had ever drilled below the final stope. We did that last year, and we hit an ounce over 8 meters. At this stage, as of October 2025, we are now filling in multiple locations below those historical results. So if this continues to 2 kilometers, which we think is the floor of our exploration, we believe, on a targeted basis, forward-looking statements applying here, that we're looking at between 3 and 4 million ounces in this deposit. That is the target that we're trying to achieve with this type of drilling. That is what we're spending our 90% of our treasury on. Up to 8 rigs here, 140,000 meters in the current program. We're really aggressively chasing those ounces. We think there's a considerable size of resource here, and these drill results are tracking that thesis pretty efficiently. So in conclusion, we're about a $250 million market cap company on the venture exchange. Healthy share structure here. 7% management and insiders. I'm in that number. I've been buying in the market over the last 15 months since I joined the company as CEO. 27% of the company is held by regional high net worth stakeholders who have been invested for a very long time. So, that is a very strong and sticky shareholder base. The growing part of that pie is the institutional shareholder block, and this company is getting more and more, I think, on the radar with the long only precious metals funds looking for the next exciting story in the Abitibi. Tight capital structure, thin on warrants, thin on options, $35 million in the bank. And please feel free to contact myself or Christina Pilon at these contact informations. We're always available to answer questions. Thank you very much for your time.